to Eli Manning because Eli Manning doesn't stop throwing interceptions. Not even interceptions. They're the ugliest interceptions.
They're overthrows. He's doing it on purpose sometimes.
It looks like it.
It's picked off by Seattle Maxwell. Oh, man, what an interception. The fourth of the day for Eli Manning.
It's a different part of the offense. When Carmelo Anthony's at the power forward position, he has more room to operate because even though bigger players are on him, he can just shoot over them. He's faster than bigger players in the league.
So that's what makes Carmelo Anthony special.
Yes.
He's a special player because not everybody can do that.
In the hands of Anthony. Anthony for three. Puts it in! Knicks by one with 8.2 remaining!
But you know what's going to shock the world is if somebody comes closer to the Yankees. No, I don't think he's going to hesitate that much or just leave him. Think he may just leave?
Nah, he's going to stay.
Robinson Cano has agreed to sign with the Mariners.
Just fortunately for the Giants, they were on the winning end of the sloppy game.
They were less of a slob on the dinner table.
Listen to this.
The Giants were less of a slob than the Raiders were at the dinner table, and the dinner table was the football field.
I don't know how you do it. I don't understand. You come up with these things off the top of your head.
On the spot.
A-Rod and Jeter both brought in more fan excitement. There was always more of a buzz.
1-2. He loops out to left field. Going to be a tough play. Jeter on the run. Makes the play. And flies into the stands. Oh, what a play by Derek Jeter.
You know how excited I am?
I know. I could see it in your face.
I'm more excited than a caterpillar on the day turning into a butterfly. That's how excited I am for the Knicks coming back.
And we are sitting here, two legends of the trade. Sports broadcasting is what we do.
That's what we do, man.
Let me tell you something you already know. The world ain't all sunshine and rainbows. It's a very mean and nasty place, and I don't care how tough you are, it will beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it. You, me, or nobody is gonna hit as hard as life. But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done.
Sports debating, even got slipping, Stephen A. hating. Just two dudes from the 914 talking about basketball, baseball, and so much more. So tune in and don't be loony. Now let's get to the action like a Tom Cruise movie. Yeah, with your host Anthony Carlo, Benzino the hero.
Am I bringing it in?
Go.
Good afternoon, everybody. Anthony Carlo and Benzino the Hero are with you for a special segment of AB Conversation, our Westchester Knicks pregame.
Yeah, we pregame. This is not a tailgate, but yeah, we pregame.
We are pregaming, and oh boy, we're excited. We're going to the game in a little bit. We have the Westchester Knicks up against the Canton Charge, and Ben, we got a couple of teams that it's young in the season, early in the season, and we have one team that may be sending some players up pretty soon if the New York Knicks don't turn things around.
Bruh, if we'll talk about the Knicks a little bit, the big league team, but right now we're focusing on the Westchester Knicks, and that one player in mind, I'm calling him the star player of the team. And that's Langston Galloway. Definitely, he had 21 points in the last game that he played. 21.
That's correct. Yeah.
And Thanasis, a close second star player, but he has that name. We know his brother's in the league. We got to see. He got to make a name for himself. He can't be Giannis's brother. He has to be Thanasis Antetokounmpo.
And last night it was Giannis who was doing a good job against the Knicks.
Come on, son. Why?
Why? I won't keep opening the wound. We're talking about Thanasis. You're talking about him. Definitely got a lot of star quality in that kid. But as you mentioned, Langston Galloway, 21 his last game. He dropped 20 in the last preseason game against the 87ers. And he's a real good. I believe he does so many things well. He's a good table setter, and I also believe he has the ability to score.
I like that. Table setter.
He's a good table setter, right?
Sets everybody up to eat. I like that, Anthony.
And he still manages to put up 20 a night.
Yeah, he can score.
Which is, he's sort of like a well-rounded player. He brings all aspects of his game to the table.
And I think in the D League especially, you have to score at the point guard position to get your name known.
Yes.
You have to have that 20 point, that 18 point, but you also have to contribute. You have to be the point guard, so you have to have assists as well.
And he's been doing like a perfect combination of all of that. I know the game a couple games ago, the preseason game, Darnell Jackson.
Your boy, you like that guy, Darnell Jackson.
Darnell had a big outing. He put up 20, I believe it was 23 points. Real dominant inside. I mean, you can't, he's just swatting passes down. He's just, I should say, swatting shots down. He's all over everybody. And tonight, the Knicks will be taking on a team that lost their last time out in triple overtime.
Oh, that's a heartbreaker.
Right, triple overtime, and that was a loss to the 87ers, who the Knicks beat earlier in the preseason.
Okay.
So we have a team that, if you do the math, if the 87ers beat the Canton Charge, then the Knicks should be able to beat the Canton Charge because they already beat the 87ers.
That's a math problem.
That's a math equation.
Yeah.
We have a lot of math equations on this show.
That's probability.
That's probability.
That's probability.
Got to shout out Ben doing the board today.
Yeah, man. If you watch AB Conversation, this is not my territory.
He's at the helm today. I'll call you captain.
Nah.
El Capitan.
It's not my ship. You were the captain.
No.
You were the captain.
Listen, I share my captain title equally.
The only person you don't share your captain title with is Derek Jeter.
Or Captain Morgan.
Stupid.
Or
But Captain Hook.
Captain Hook.
Captain
Hook.
Hook. But the Westchester Knicks will be playing tonight against the Canton Charge. We said that. Anybody on Canton we should look out for? The Westchester Knicks got a plan against?
Yes, there are some players. First of all, top pick Michael Dunnigan posted a double last game. He had 15 points and he was 5 of 6 shooting, 11 rebounds, 3 steals, and 3 blocks. You also have to watch out for Crawford. He's finished with a double as well in his first ever pro game last time out, netting 21 points, 10 boards, 5 assists, and 2 steals. So those two guys are going to be definitely on the Knicks' watch. And also, Stephen Holt added 20 points and 6 boards in 48 minutes. So this team has a few guys who can score. They have a few guys who could do a lot of things. A couple of those guys in double games. And the Knicks, if you're the Canton Charge tonight, I think you're really keying in on not only Thanasis and Langston Galloway, but I definitely think a sleeper is Todd Mayo.
Todd Mayo, he erupted against the 87ers.
Yes, he did.
How many points do you know?
He had 17 that night.
Now this is also another brother playing in the big league,
Yeah.
OJ Mayo, and he has that Mayo offense. The Mayos like to score.
They do like to score. It was funny how last night I was thinking as I was watching the Knicks game.
And OJ Mayo played, the Bucks.
Yeah, both on the Bucks. Antetokounmpo and Mayo, both their brothers, are on the New York Knicks, and the pro level players are both on the Bucks. It's funny. It was ironic. But no, Todd Mayo was definitely, I have to mention, I think he was a little bit of I mentioned him as a sleeper because he was a little, I underestimated him a little bit.
Okay.
I didn't know if he was going to be able to do as much as he did, but when I was watching him a couple of games ago, really takes control out there and has the ability to score. So Todd Mayo is definitely going to be somebody you look out for. And we can't forget that Orlando Sanchez, he's a talented player.
That's the big man. Now, Canton also have a big man now that was just called down from the pros. I forgot his name, but he is on the roster.
Yeah, so are you referring to Alex Kirk?
Yeah.
Alex, 7 feet tall. So he's a big man.
So I wonder if Sanchez is going to match up against him because they're definitely going to use Kirk in the game.
Sanchez had a disgusting reverse dunk in that preseason
that's
game.
That's nice.
Yeah, he was good. The Knicks know how to get down out there. But the main thing when you're looking at this team, Ben, I have a question for you. Going into tonight, Coach Whitted. Let's pretend you're Coach Whitted.
Coach Whitted.
What is your goal? What do you feel your obligation is in the home opener of the Westchester Knicks playing at the County Center in front of Allen Houston, Rob Astorino, and of course Adam Silver, our special guest?
Adam Silver is the commissioner of the National Basketball Association, so I like how he's showing love to the D League, which is owned by the NBA, but still,
right?
The commissioner doesn't have to be there.
No, he doesn't have to.
He doesn't have to be there. So that's a big thing for the Westchester Knicks. Now, Anthony said, how should Coach Woodard rally up his team?
Yeah, what do you expect?
You gotta get that W.
You gotta get that
You
W.
have to. It's the first inaugural game at the Westchester County Center.
Right.
That's your most, probably before playoff time or preseason. Not preseason. You was at the preseason game, right? It wasn't as lively.
No, not
Tonight
at all.
should be ruckus.
Tonight's good. Yes.
Ruckus.
Tonight, I have a little intel that tonight is going to be wild because you have the media lot that we were trying to find last time we went.
You know where it is? Because I'm driving.
It's in the back.
Okay.
But it's off limits because there's going to be so many people.
Oh man! All right, so we gotta find a spot.
So there's going to be a lot of people, and it's going to be. So when you're dealing with this team, my question to you is, Whitted has a lot. I believe a D-League coach actually has to wear a lot of hats. He has to figure out how to showcase this talent. He has to figure out how to get as many different players as he can in big spots to produce, and he has to balance that with winning, with contending.
And developing these players so the big league team can call it up and expect them to put up numbers.
Right. He's not only balancing winning for this team, but he's balancing trying to get these players to be at the level they need to be in order to help the big league team. It's a tough job.
It is.
It's a tough. I feel like if you're, I'm not taking anything away from an NBA coach, but just think about Fish right now. He's thinking about. I mean, he is a little stressed based on the Knicks record.
A little bit. Tad.
He was sweating a lot last night. But if you think about him and his priorities, he's thinking about how do we win this next game. Now, of course, there's a whole other world of pressure on him because he's got Phil watching him. He's got the expectations.
The market.
He's got to build this team back to what it needs to be. But he's got one priority, and that's win. You look at Coach Whitted, Kevin Whitted, and he's dealing with developing his players to be able to win at the next level and win at this level.
Yeah.
How do you do that?
It's juggling chainsaws.
It is. Wow.
You can't.
That's a good analogy.
You can't get the chainsaw. You can't get the You got to get the handle of it.
Because you don't want them to clash with your hand.
Yeah.
Rip you apart.
Juggling a chainsaw.
It's hard because if you think about a couple of different scenarios, you may think of some. Let's say we're in a game. Let's say the Knicks are. Let's say Coach Whitted is trying to get the Westchester Knicks, trying to get as many guys in as he can because he wants to try and get everybody playing time, or at least a good majority of them different looks for the game so that people can actually, the higher-ups can actually see these players.
In real game time situation, not just practice.
Exactly. Then you have the opportunity where you or I should say you have the choice that now all of a sudden you're losing. Now what do? Do you go with your best, the ones who've proven to you they can play well, or do you keep going with that strategy of seeing who can maybe rise to the occasion and win you this game, which would further their career? You know what I mean? It would open eyes.
Because if Langston Galloway is not doing well, I think Coach Whitted would have to put him in the game still.
Right.
Like get him out of his groove.
Right.
Because in the big leagues, if you miss 2 shots, you got to make it up on defense.
Yeah, absolutely.
You got to set a screen to let somebody get open. You got to do the little things as well.
Exactly. So tonight we're gonna be watching. It's a science. I believe it's breaking down a science. And dealing with a team like this, you think about all the parts they have. They have a lot of talent. They did cut their regular season roster, or I should say preseason roster, down to Atenacupo, Andre Barrett, Chris Clark, Langston Galloway, Marcus Ginyard, Darnell Jackson, Todd Mayo, Dwayne Mitchell, Orlando Sanchez, Ben Strong, AJ Usery, Jordan Vandenberg. So we're missing a couple. Some of them Sherrod Wright, J.R. Inman, and we're missing a couple of guys there. We're also missing Joseph Bertrand, their first overall pick. So they did make some changes with cutting down their roster with a couple of faces maybe we expected to stay around.
Especially the Mount Vernon hopeful Sherrod Wright making the team. That must be a bummer.
Sherrod Wright, and even Coach Whitted had said that day, media day, that he loved Sherrod. He thought Sherrod was doing well. So obviously, it's a collaborative decision. How about those New York Knicks? Where do you think there may be needs for some of these players after watching the debacle last night?
Langston. I said this since day one. Langston should have deserved the spot on team over Travis Ware. Not saying Travis Ware is not doing anything for the team, but when you have injuries by Jose Calderon, you need somebody else to back up the point guard. It's not beneficial to see J.R. Smith run the point guard when you have a Langston Galloway. His job's primarily to run the point guard.
Right.
So I would want the responsibility of Langston Galloway being the point guard doing his point guard duties rather than Shump, Tim Hardaway, or J.R. Smith running the point.
That's a good point, and no pun intended. That's a good point. But I mean, after watching last night, I agree with you, and I think that watching the Knicks in the last quarter of play, trying to make this seemingly insurmountable comeback, down by what was it, 20?
They was down 25.
25, I think.
Yeah.
Coming back all the way, and I was saying to myself all along, I was getting nervous, and I had that energy because I wanted to see them come back. I wanted to see them do it. And then there's this other part of me that was thinking they shouldn't be in this position, though. They shouldn't be in this spot where they had to come back 25. I mean, the Bucks are 5-5 now, 6-5, but that's not a team that the Knicks should be losing to. I'm sorry.
It's once again the catch-up ball. The Knicks have been playing all season. They haven't been playing New York Knicks basketball. They have been playing catch-up ball. This is about the 5th game now that in the fourth quarter, final 2 minutes, the game was in. They could have had the win.
Yeah.
And all those times, those resulted in losses, except for the Hornets game.
And they put, as you said, they're always playing catch-up. They put themselves in a tough position to come back because they're down. They're down early on, and Melo now with a sore left knee. He's been dealing with that for a few weeks now. This team, between getting somebody in Jose Calderon,
they need him back.
Yeah, they do need him. Who was supposed to help this team with the triangle offense? He's now hurt. I mean, the Knicks they're not in a good place. I don't feel like they're in a good place right now.
All the wins they could have had against the Magic, could have had that win against Utah, could have had that win.
Yeah,
they did beat Detroit. But that was still catch-up ball.
Can Darnell Jackson help this team? I know that between Dallenberg, I mean these are guys. They are big men, especially Dallenberg. But can Darnell Jackson be a help to this team if he consistently shows that he can play that ferociously at the D level?
If Darnell Jackson continues to do this first 2 weeks, give him a shot.
Give him a shot
because
Dallenberg hasn't been impressing anybody, I don't think.
Nah. Samuel Dallenberg.
Dallenberg, yeah.
Yeah, no, I disagree 100% because first quarter he dictates that triangle offense. When he's comes up for the block. Where's the camera? Whatever. Comes up for the block, and he goes to the elbow.
Right.
With that being said, he does that. Then he looks for the backdoor cut from the guard, and he's been making those passes. But late in the game, you don't see this triangle offense. That's what I understand. Like when the Knicks played Denver over the weekend, Brian Shaw was also a Phil Jackson assistant coach. Now he's head coach of the Nuggets. They was talking like, Brian Shaw doesn't run the triangle to the triangle. It's gonna fade out. It's gonna look acute. It's
gonna look acute. I mean, I agree. I see that too. How it disappears, and also another thing is that the Knicks still tend to do these things that we saw from last year, where they leave guys open. I mean that there's a backdoor play.
Oh, the backdoor was crazy, especially last night. The backdoor was crazy.
Constantly, there's a man that's open all the time. In their opponent. We saw that last year, and you figure with Phil coming over and imposing sort of a new philosophy on this team, they wouldn't mess up the fundamentals that way.
It's losing. You gotta see the ball, see the man.
Yeah, it's losing the simple. Yeah, I mean that's going back to your roots.
Yeah.
Well, we'll be following the Westchester Knicks tonight in their attempt to take down the Canton Charge in their home opener. Should be a packed crowd. Buy tickets if you haven't already. Come
$10.
Yeah, come out tonight and support. Definitely follow our Twitter on our WICR connected Twitter to the Westchester Knicks. We will be providing you with game play-by-play updates on Twitter. Tonight, ahead of that, will be Joe DeLuizio, who will be updating via Twitter. So definitely follow that. Should be WICR_WST Knicks. Okay. So that's our WICR Westchester Knicks Twitter.
And like the Westchester Knicks page as well. Catch up on all the news as well.
Yes, absolutely. We've also created a Twitter page for that here at Iona to post all of our coverage for the Westchester Knicks, and should be a fun night. Ben will be coming along as the cameraman tonight.
Squad, we out here. Westchester Knicks, get that dub tonight. In all seriousness, please get that W tonight.
Yeah, bring some life to New York basketball.
Westchester basketball at that too.
Yeah, Westchester basketball too. So, for Benzino the Hero, I'm Anthony Carlo. We'll be catching up with you a little bit later. We'll hit you up on our next show, which will be next Wednesday.
Next Wednesday, full show. Sorry, guys. We got some business to take care of.
Yeah, we'll be
Jiggity, let's go. Shout out Jiggity.
Shout out Rob. We pre-gamed you up for the Westchester Knicks tonight. And listen, everybody have a good night.